Hope you can hear me all right. All right, let's start. So, all right, ladies. So if you could lose weight without restriction, without drugs or supplements, would you do it? Now, our record, we've already helped more than 1,500 women lose weight and keep it off. There's just off the top, a couple of testimonials. We've helped our ladies do it without restricting. They don't have to take drugs. They don't have to go on a supplement program. They don't have to do all these nasty things to drop the weight and lose the kilograms that they want to lose. So that means if they have done it, it is possible for you as well. These women, they're Australian, they're over the age of 40, and they are busy. 99% of them are mums. They've got kids, some of them even grandmothers. So if they can do it, I promise you now, I promise you can do it. So I'm going to show you how just one change to your diet will dramatically improve your weight loss. Now, the biggest issue that I see with new clients is that they just don't know how to get their food right. So because the food's not right, they're not seeing consistent fat loss. What about you? Have you ever had problems with the consistency before? So after helping our clients lose more than 15,000 kilos, we found that most people just don't understand protein. Now, I promise tonight isn't me going through different slides of what protein is. I'll cover a couple of things. We're going to dive into some of the deeper stuff that's actually way more important. Because if I was only ever to give one more bit of advice for weight loss, it would be to fix your protein intake. This is going to be the biggest thing. So if you have sugar cravings, if your weight loss is stalled, if you hit the plateau, if you've got weak muscles or you've got a low metabolism, then this training is for you and you're 100% in the right spot. So if you don't know me, I'm Josh Humphris, and we have helped hundreds of women using our VIP methods. The ladies are killing it. So what I'm going to teach you today is going to save you months of trial and error with your own weight loss journey. You're not going to have to struggle with the food side of things after today. Are you cool with that? Thought you might be. So we all know that meat is protein. Everyone knows that. But what a lot of people don't know is where else to find the protein. So firstly, how much protein should you be having? 30% of your daily calories needs to come from protein if you want to lose body fat. If you don't want to lose body fat, then ignore everything I'm telling you tonight. So where else do you find protein? Here's a couple of sources. So some people don't realize that cheese is a good source of protein. You've got yogurt, plenty of good ones, milk, we've got protein powder. There's even protein water these days, very helpful. We've got beans, we've got tofu, and we've got protein bars. You don't just have to eat chicken every single day. You're going to get sick of it. You can spread your protein across any of these and it's not going to make a difference. The rules around protein are very minimal. You can have any of them. You can have one of them. You can have the same one every single day. You can have a different one in every single meal. It doesn't matter. It's all the same for a weight loss diet. So, and protein doesn't even have to be, doesn't have to be the main meal. It can be a snack. The only rule is when it comes to the food, you got to hit your protein targets before you go to bed. That is the golden rule, I promise you. It doesn't matter if that's in morning tea, if it's a snack, if it's an afternoon tea, if it's after dinner. As long as we're hitting that protein target, we're going to be happy. Because the leading cause of sugar cravings is low protein. I'll say it again. If you got sugar cravings, 9 times out of 10, it's because you don't eat enough protein throughout the day. So think about it like this. If you skip meals or you fast, so you're only eating 1 or 2 meals a day, it's going to be almost impossible to hit your protein target, meaning you're probably eating too little calories and too little protein throughout the day. So I see it all the time. Even if people aren't doing it intentionally fasting, they're just skipping meals because they're busy with work. They get home, they raid the cupboard, they're eating all the snacks when they're cooking dinner, and now it's happened. They've just blown out the whole day because they were skipping meals. The reason why you get sugar cravings is because your body, whether you want to or not, is burning calories. Every second of every day, you're burning calories. Now, what's going to happen is if you burn lots of energy and you're not refueling the body properly, you're going to get sugar cravings. It just always happens like that. So when you're purposely depriving your body of food, it's going to end up turning the cravings up. So you're forced to eat. Now, nobody's going to crave the broccoli. No one's craving asparagus. You're craving the shit that's very, very easy to consume in calories. So it's carbohydrates, it's sugars, it's chips, all that kind of stuff. Very common. So people go from skipping meals at the start of the day for binging or craving into or caving into their cravings at the end of the day. It's very common. I see it a lot with people that are not eating breakfast. Easy fix. They start having some breakfast. So this is what happens with most people. You know, you might eat a good breakfast or you might have a good morning tea or a good lunch, and then the cravings start kicking in. It might be alcohol, it might be sweets, it might be takeaway, it might be the chips. Who knows? But what tends to happen is most people have relatively good days and then bad afternoons and bad nights. Or you have a good like Monday to Friday, and then you're like, oh, Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday, you're way off track with the food. So you end up not losing really any weight, or it's really, really slow. Big problem. So protein is going to be the main nutrient that we eat that's going to directly relate to the regulation of our metabolism. So metabolism is dictated by protein intake. So if I see ladies with low metabolisms, what does that mean? They're probably not eating enough protein. So if I see a client that's got like a weight plateau, the weight's kind of stalled, I'm going to go back over their food, and almost always they're not hitting their protein targets. They're like, I'm eating enough protein. I feel like I'm hitting my protein. And then I look at the food diary, or I look at my fitness pal, and I look at their tracking, low protein, low protein, low protein, one good day, and then low protein. I'm like, okay, this is the problem. So if you hate losing weight, ignore this advice. Turn it off. Now, another place where I see people get tricked is with their macro targets, such as the proteins, the carbs, and the fats. Now, if you don't know what macros are, what does macro mean? It is just short for macronutrients. So macro means large, micro means small. So in our food, we have macronutrients, which are carbohydrates, fats, and protein. There's only three macronutrients. Now, the micronutrients, which is not outside the scope of today's talk, not really relevant to what we're going through today, but the micronutrients are found within the macro. So the macros are the vitamins and the minerals. They're within the macronutrients. So you got protein, carbs, and fats. Fats, that's your macros. Vitamins and minerals are your micronutrients. So you might have heard this one. You might have heard from a friend or a coach or a personal trainer or somewhere online that you need to eat 100 grams of protein a day. You're like, okay, cool. So you weigh it out, 100 grams of chicken, and you think you're doing the right thing. I see so many ladies get stuck by this. They're weighing out 100 grams of protein, chicken, beef, tofu, whatever. It's actually incorrect. It's not a lot of protein. 100 grams of chicken, you're probably thinking, man, 100 grams of protein, is that all I'm meant to eat? That's not a lot. It's not actually the right 100 grams. So when we talk about protein, this is an important one. When we're talking about protein, we're talking about the protein content within a protein source. So chicken is a protein source. Chicken isn't 100% protein. There's protein in chicken, but protein is a protein source is different to a protein macro. So if we want 100 grams of protein, we need to find, let's run through it. So let's say you got chicken, a protein source. It's not 100% protein. It's only 30% protein. So if you look on the packet of chicken, it's going to say 1 kilogram of chicken breast, and it's going to say 300 grams of protein. It's not going to say 1 kilogram of protein. Chicken's the protein source. Protein is within the source. So SOURCE, like I say it right here. Chicken only contains 30% protein. No different to milk. Milk is a protein source. It's not 100% protein. So we know that milk's a protein, but it only contains 10% protein. This is a very important fact. So back to the chicken example. To get 100 grams of protein out of chicken, remember, 100 grams is only 30% protein, you would need like 300 grams of actual chicken. So a third of 300 grams is roughly 100, roughly. So like 333 grams to get 100. So that means you don't eat 100 grams of chicken per day. You eat 330 grams of chicken. Now, mind you, it doesn't have to be chicken. You can do chicken, beef, and salmon and whatever. You can mix them all up. But to get 100 grams of protein, you don't just eat 100 grams of food. The protein is within the protein source. Big, big, big difference. So I find that most people, they don't know that, and they're accidentally under eating their protein because they're like, oh, I just think I need 100 grams of chicken. No. We need like 3 times that amount. So even though you might feel like you're doing the right things, your weight isn't moving. You're like, I feel like I'm eating healthy. I feel like I'm hitting the protein target, but my weight's not moving. This is why having a coach is one of the most important parts of weight loss, because otherwise you're like, you get stuck. You feel like you're doing the right things. You don't get the result. You get upset and it's not fun. So having a coach means you learn exactly how to get your food right. So you start seeing some weekly progress. I'm telling you now, weekly progress exists. Our clients are crushing it because they have coaches. I've got 5 coaches. They live all over Australia. 5 of the best coaches in Australia for women 40 plus. They are helping the ladies smash their goals because they get this coaching. They have like they talk to the coach multiple times a week. They can, go through the food, they go through the exercise, and they make sure that they're seeing consistent progress. Like Georgia. Georgia went from this to losing 30 kilograms by getting her food right. She doesn't even train much. She does a little bit of walking, active job, gets the food right, sleeping well, boom, down 30 kilos. Now, she was making the same mistakes. She was eating healthy, but she wasn't seeing any progress. She felt stuck. Same with Clarice. Clarice lost 18 kilograms from getting her protein right with her coach, just understanding and learning how much she needed with the type of job that she had. Because you can't have someone who has a sedentary job and someone who has an active job doing the exact same game plan. They're burning different amount of calories, different age, different height, different calorie requirements. This is why it's not a group program. Everyone does it one-on-one with their coach. Everyone's different. Same thing with Jalinda right here. She only wanted to drop a couple of kilograms and tone up, but she was making the same food mistakes. Her waist is dialed in. She's looking more toned by getting the food right. She's already training really well, trained 5 days a week at the gym. We didn't really need to touch that. It was just making sure that we got the food side of things right. So if you haven't lost any weight in the past few months and you want to turn that around and start losing 3 to 6 kilograms per month, get a coach. Because if you haven't seen results for like the last kind of 6 to 12, 18 weeks, you're probably not doing the right things. And it's not because it's not effort. It's not because you're not trying. I see so many ladies trying really difficult. Imagine this. Imagine you're running a 100-meter race and the gun goes off, but you run the wrong direction. You ran as hard as you could, you prepared as much as you could, but you ran the wrong direction. Doesn't mean you weren't trying, you just went the wrong way. Having a coach is going to steer you in the right direction so you can see progress on a weekly basis. Or you could just go another 3 months of, little to no weight loss and be this sad person. I'm not losing any weight. I'm so frustrated. So here's my advice when you're selecting a coach. Do not pick the coach you want to look like. Ugh, terrible idea. Don't be like, oh, that coach is lean and I'm going to pick them. Bad idea. I've seen many coaches that have freak genetics. They're just like, oh my God, they're so lean. They look amazing. They've always looked good. But they have this weird process and diet that only works because they have good genetics. And then they get their clients to follow the same process and the client gets terrible results. And the coach is like, I don't understand. This is what works for me. And I'm like, yeah, but you're a freak of genetics. Like you're not like 99.9% of us who have normal genetics. So you don't find the coach that looks the best and has, super, super ripped abs. Don't make that mistake. You want to pick the coach that has got the result that you want for hundreds of other people in the same position as you. That way, you know 100% that they have a process that works over and over and over again. And it's replicatable. Because if the good coach looks amazing and the clients don't, that's not a good process. You don't even want to look at the coach. You want to look at their process. You want to look at their results. Have they got the result that you want for hundreds of other people in the same position? So if I'm a male in my 30s, which I am 32, I'd be looking for a coach that works with men between like 25 to like 38, because that's kind of the same body type that is me. So I'd want to find a coach, even if it was a woman, I'd find a coach, a male or a female, that has hundreds and hundreds of awesome transformations of dudes from 25 to 38 with six packs. That's what I'd be looking for. For you, if you're a woman in her 40s, I'd be looking for a coach that has hundreds and hundreds of transformations of women between 40 to 65 years old, or at least 40 to 60, because that's kind of the same category: perimenopause, menopause, postmenopause, same sort of changes and hormonal differences in that category. That's what I'd be looking for if I was looking for a coach in that. Like Wanda, she had tried so many gyms, so many coaches, so many personal trainers, but she'd never actually worked with a coach that specialized in over 40s weight loss for women. So lots of belly fat, not looking great. Now looking super trim, wearing the clothes that she loves, feeling confident. So she's got like a high executive role, like absolute badass, looking amazing because she had the coaching. Same thing with Kathleen. She tried the gyms, tried the F45. Like, again, no specialized coaching, just trying this, like, jack of all trades type thing. Now she's down 22 kilograms because she's worked with our coaches. We only specialize in women 40 plus. That is all we do. No men, no younger women, no younger guys, just women 40 to 65 years old. The point is, find a coach who actually specializes in where you are right now, not someone who works with everybody, like a jack of all traders type. Like if you have a Mercedes car, you're going to go to a Mercedes dealership. You're not going to go to a Holden dealership. If I have a Holden, I'm not going to go take it to Hyundai. I want someone who specializes in fix Holden cars. Same thing with your body. Don't go to a gym and I'm like work with like, oh, you work with everybody and this gym's for everybody. You're going to need a coach who specializes in where you are right now in your life, not where you were 5, 10, 15, or 20 years ago, because the game plan changes. Like, could we agree that 55 is different to 45, is different to 35, and different to 25? It's all different. So to find out what we do, to book in a call to find out how we can help you lose weight, tone up, and maintain it, I'm going to leave a link below, or I'll even leave an application link. So you click on the link, you fill it out, take you 2-3 minutes. It'll send it to us. You'll have your phone number in there. We'll send you a text message, nice and easy. Alternatively, you can send me a message in this group or on Instagram for more info. We got YouTube, we got a podcast, it's on Spotify, it's on Apple, we got the website, we got Facebook and Instagram. We're everywhere. We've been doing this for a long time, many years. So if you're looking for that information, there's the website there, blissbodyu.com.au. That's me on Instagram, Josh Humphreys. And yeah, ladies are absolutely killing it. So ladies, focus on the protein, get the protein right, and you're going to have a much, much better time when it comes to cravings, weight loss, breaking plateaus, and upping that metabolism. All right, ladies, a lot to love. Keep kicking goals, and I'll have some more trainings for you next week. She'll stay on just for a little bit. A couple of people. If you got any questions, chuck them in the comments.